Hello and welcome to Let's Play Dragon Warrior Monster. I am Mr. J and I will be running this Let's Play, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Now, unfortunately, because of my audio settings for some reason, I am unable to give you guys the awesome game music, but it's pretty good stuff, so just kind of take my word for it. I'm going to rush through the text a bit here. The story in this game is pretty darn superfluous. It's filler, basically, and what I'm here for is for the gameplay. That's kind of what really got me into this game. It's why I loved it, why I played the hell of it when I was about 10 years old. So, we're going to begin here. You know, I'm the little blue guy. I'm going to be that blue guy for the rest of the game, and to me he looks kind of angry, but that's okay. So, this beginning part's basically just, you know, this is the introduction. Oh no, I got abducted, and now I'm in a brand new world where I have to catch all these monsters. Go get all the MacGuffins and you'll be ready. So, actually there aren't any MacGuffins, which is pretty nice. But this first video is going to be just the introduction, so if you want to get to the dungeons and the actual gameplay, finish this one and go on to the next one. Don't skip. I want to go ahead and say that, but feel free to just watch whatever you want. This first one's just kind of me ranting about the game. So, Dragon Warrior Monsters is a side game for the Dragon Warrior Dragon Quest series, and it actually spawned its own progeny, I guess you could say. There is a Dragon Warrior Monsters 2 that, much like Pokemon, unfortunately, has two versions to it, and then there's also, I believe, a Dragon Warrior Monsters 3, and then there's even a Wii version and a DS, I believe, but I'm not positive. This is the only one I've played, and that's because it's a good one, and I like it. So this is what I'm going to be playing. And that's all I'm going to say about the sequels for now, because I know absolutely nothing about them. So this game is a classic Pokemon, collect all the monsters, fight with other monsters, but it's not quite as childish, I guess you could say. There's still some weird stuff, you know. You gotta have the Dragon Quest slime, and as you'll see, we'll be getting our own slime in a second. But this game is basically, it was a chance to use all those monsters you've been beating up on for the last several games as your own guys and fight other monsters with them. So it's virtual cockfighting, except it's not really disguising anything in this game. These aren't children. These aren't little, like, Charmander lizards. No, these are actual monsters. So it's going to draw a lot of parallels with Pokemon. It's very similar to Pokemon, except I personally think it's much better than the first couple Pokemons. It kind of takes a lot of what Pokemon added in the later versions, a lot of, like, with the breeding and the ability to kind of min-max your guys, and it makes it a lot more transparent and a lot easier right off the bat. Like, once I get to breeding, it's pretty darn simple to breed stuff. It's a little, you're probably going to have to use a guide if you really, really want to breed, but the game is fairly forgiving about breeding and about all sorts of stuff, and it doesn't have the crazy Pokemon EV, IV, mystery, like, back end. Everything's pretty much out there right in the front for you. So, it's why I like it, basically. I'm one of those people who loves collectathons and min-maxing and is ridiculous OCD about all their stuff, so this is why I like the game. But it's got a lot of charm, and it's a lot of fun, frankly. So right here, I'm Tex. That's what we already decided, so that's what it's going to be. Sorry about that awesome mic breathing there. Try to keep that to a minimum. But so basically the story for this is your sister gets kidnapped, and then you come to this place, and they're like, oh, well, if you win the Tournament of the Starry Night, you can get your sister back. So you're training for the Tournament of the Starry Night, and that's basically the game. It's kind of weird. There's some strange little side stuff, but most of that is just references to other games. But when I first played this game, I hadn't played any other Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest games ever, so yeah, I didn't get any of that, but I still enjoyed it. So if you love Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest, this is a great game for you. If you don't, it's fine too. So hopefully as I get through them, you guys might point them out for me. So down to our left here, right here with this guy, is the dungeons, which are Traveler's Gates. And up here is the farm, which is where we'll keep all our monsters when we don't have them with us. that little thing right there, here to steal your monsters, is probably one of my favorite parts about the game. It's just kind of a funny little thing in there that you actually have an option to be like, yeah, I'm stealing your monsters, but that's about it. So, right here, we're going to get our first monster, which is actually that little monster behind him, but that little monster behind him never goes away. It doesn't really make much sense, but that's just kind of this game. There's a lot that doesn't make sense, but hopefully we'll get through it. So, right now, first little monster there, see he follows behind us, and he's got actually 3 little views. The 2 sides are just mirrors. But it's nice to actually have your monsters follow behind you. You kind of get to see them. They're not just little sprites on your battle screen. So it's just one of those little touches that I really like. For example, with Heart Gold and Soul Silver in Pokemon, they didn't add that in until way later, but they had it right off the bat here. So there's a lot of stuff like that. There's a lot of things that Pokemon added in later that were already here. So that's basically why I like this a lot better than Pokemon. So I'm going to stop talking about Pokemon now. That's about the end of the comparisons. So right here, we're going to go ahead and save this guy's life because he let all of the monsters out for no reason, basically. So right now, we're going to be like, oh, we'll get your monster back. So this is kind of why the whole game takes place. It's like in Metroid, the little beginning, oh, no, I fell down a stairwell and now my suit's all messed up. Well, here it's the farm manager let all the monsters go, and now I gotta get them all back. So now we go off to the Traveler's Gates. Now, as I said, this first video is going to be just the beginning, so it's going to be pretty boring. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started though, and go in this little side room here. Right here, we have our nice gestures, and these treasure chests, as the king said, are now ours. So we're going to get our herbs, which is basically a potion. It's just your standard healing item. Now, as I said, this first video is not going to be in the dungeon, but I'm going to go ahead and take you guys there. So here's our little Traveler's Gate. The little swirling blue thing up in the corner is the entrance. And I'm going to go ahead and save right here for you. So come back for the next episode. Hopefully it'll be better than this one.